Finally, a powerful reminder of what Memorial Day really stands for from retired Navy SEAL officer Jocko Willink, whose message on this day of remembrance serves as tonight's quote of the night.
Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. You have the joys of life, the joys that I gave up, so that you can relish in them. A cool breeze in the air, the gentle spring grass on your bare feet, the warm summer sun on your face, family, friends, and freedom. Never forget where it all came from. It came from sacrifice, the supreme sacrifice. Don't waste it. Don't waste any of your time on this earth. Live a life that honors the sacrifice of our fallen heroes. Remember them always, and make every day.
Good evening and welcome to the ultimate final exam, a very special edition of Tucker Carlson Tonight. For the past several months, we've been putting the top news gatherers here at Fox to the test to see which ones have been paying attention to the news they cover and which ones haven't. It all began last July with our first ever news quiz. It featured Peter Doocy and Elizabeth Pran. Here's round one.
Bring it on.
I'm not taking my finger off.
Welcome to you both. This is something we thought of in the shower one morning, but we think it's going to work.
This is my nightmare. If I get one.
I think you're gonna do great. Here are the rules.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the questions.
Okay.
The first one of you to buzz in on our specially made police vehicle buzzers gets to answer that question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you lose a point.
Okay.
Best of 5 wins. Are you ready?
5?
Best of 5.
Oh, okay.
Here's the first question. State officials in Nevada, sometimes called Nevada, this week announced a state of emergency when stores there sold out of what? Elizabeth?
Pot.
Marijuana. Weed. Okay, we're going to go to the tape and see if you're right.
Marijuana dispensaries are running out of pot. The governor has declared a state of emergency. A surge in sales there has left a lot of shelves empty.
Somebody watch the special report. I'm telling Brett Baer he's going to be flattered.
I do watch the special report.
Fast with that question.
It was good.
Interesting.
I'm not going to tell you what.
You think there may have been some chicanery behind the scenes?
I don't know. She's
That's
right
illegal,
next to the
so
cards.
we're not going to cop to that. Question 2.
Right.
This one is a multiple choice question, so wait for the choices before answering. The Olympic Committee this week announced that the city of Los Angeles would soon host the Summer Games. When was the last time LA hosted the Olympics? Was it 1980? Was it 1984? Was it 1988?
1984.
1984.
How do you know that?
Says,
It was before I was born, but I feel like I've seen a sweatshirt.
We're going to see if you're right. Let's go to the tape.
You're definitely right.
It was the LA Summer Games of '84 that electrified the country. The torch was lit at the LA Coliseum, but it was Carl Lewis who set the crowd on fire.
I'm impressed because 1984 to you was like the First World War to me. It was just like prehistory, but you knew it
I
anyway.
feel like I hear a lot about, was that the one that Bruce Jenner was in?
I'm not going there.
He was-
Question 3.
Did you
Last
know
month,
more?
President Trump invited a recently retired quarterback to play golf with him. This week, that quarterback said that people pressured him not to accept the offer, but he felt like taking a pass on it would be, quote, un-American. Who is that?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, says Elizabeth Pran.
You know, I've had a chance to play with President Bush before. If President Obama or President Clinton asked me, I'd be there in a heartbeat. I mean, it was just the experience of playing with the office that was pretty cool to me, and I think it would have been almost un-American to have said no.
Only because of the ESPYs, that's why I knew.
I'm impressed, Elizabeth
Well,
Pran.
too, but that, I mean, I lowered the bar, but I'm good. I'm done. I'm tapping out. I'm going to go.
Peter, wake up, son. Question 4, another multiple choice question. This week, one of the largest icebergs ever recorded broke off from the Antarctic Peninsula. It was enormous. Scientists say it weighs 1 trillion tons and is the size of what state? Rhode Island, Maine, Delaware?
Delaware.
Delaware.
I think it's like one of my old Joe Biden Google alerts that I just get anything Delaware.
AKA the first state. Let's see on the tape.
A massive chunk of ice separating into the ocean, said to be the size of Delaware.
Peter Doocy, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't
wins the geography quiz. Okay, we're down to the final question. It's 2-2.
Okay.
A technician working at a Corpus Christi bank, that's in Texas, yesterday, had to be rescued by police after he accidentally locked himself inside what for 2 hours?
The ATM machine.
How did you know
I
that?
think it would be the vault, but we've got a tape.
We can hear a little voice coming from the machine. You'll never see this again in your life, that somebody's stuck in the ATM machine.
Unbelievable.
How did you know
Because that is the craziest story. People were going to the ATM and this man was inside sending them notes that just said, help, I'm stuck in the ATM.
The world's
Let me
smallest repairman. He's
How do
only
you
like
think
8
there wouldn't
inches
be a
tall.
lot
What would you think if you
oxygen
got
in there?
that note? I would think that the thing was going to take my credit card and I would probably, skim it and I would just leave.
I would think it was an inside job.
I would think so.
Final exam, the first test, 3-2. Mark Stein is obviously a genius and one of our favorite guests on this show. In November, we finally managed to corner him in the final exam chair. Here's how it went. We're joined tonight by 2 Fox News guest people you know well. A.B. Stoddard is associate editor at Real Clear Politics. Mark Stein is an author and columnist and sits in to host this show. They join us both. Great to see you. Neither one of you has been on this show. We have no even prediction for who's going to win.
Not at all.
May a fair fight commence. Question 1. Which tech billionaire bought an $80 million plot of land in the state of Arizona this week to build what he's calling a high-tech smart city? Tech billionaire, $80 million piece of property in Arizona to build a tech city.
I am so excited that we're both pausing.
Mark Stein.
Jeff Bezos?
Jeff Bezos. Good guess. Is that the correct answer to the tape?
Gates snapping up 25,000 acres. Thousands of acres in Arizona. That's huge. Price tag $80 million. 80,000 homes and plenty of room for industry with high-speed data centers and self-driving cars. Are you ready for this, Bill?
Bill Gates, a planned community. Would you want to live there?
I wouldn't want to live in any community planned by Bill Gates because it's like living in Windows 97 for the rest of your life.
That's exactly right. I totally agree. All right, question 2. During his 12-day trip to Asia, the continent, President Trump was serenaded by a world leader. Which Asian president sang him a love song that included these lyrics? "You are the light in my world"? ABS.
Duterte of the Philippines.
Duterte of the Philippines, says Alexander A.B. Stoddard. To the tape.
And at the ASEAN dinner, Duterte sang a love song with a famous Filipino pop star, saying he did it on orders from President Trump.
The orders of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States.
That's the best since Putin did Blueberry Hill. That
is really
that's great.
That is fantastic. I know he's killed a lot of people,
you know
but
what?
he's pretty good.
I learned about that through reading, and that was my first time actually hearing it. It was really painful.
Wow.
Yeah, that was.
Learned
I don't
about
want
it
to see
through
that
reading.
again. I can't.
You're an
unhear
old
it.
school journalist.
I can't
A.B.
unhear
Stoddard.
it.
All right. Question 3 is a multiple choice question.
Oh dear. When
People
do we press?
Magazine. Yes. As soon as I give you all 3 answers, People Magazine, which still exists, just named the 2017 sexiest man alive. Was it 1, Chris Hemsworth, 2, Brad Pitt, or 3, Blake Shelton? But wait, there was an honorable mention, actually, and that goes to our very own Mark Stein. I think we have him on the screen. Mark Stein, sexiest man alive.
I was going to say Mark Stein, but I think I'll go with Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
It's Blake.
Well, we'll find out. Chris Hemsworth.
Was that inappropriate?
Does the tape confirm Mark Stein's guess of Chris Hemsworth?
Have you seen this yet? People Magazine's annual Sexiest Man Alive edition. That honor goes to Blake Shelton this year.
I don't get the point because I banged at the wrong time, right?
That's true.
Okay, well.
I was
Let the
wrong.
record show.
Do you know who Chris Hemsworth is?
Yeah, isn't he the mighty Thor?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
But you knew it was Blake Shelton.
I did.
Do you know who he is?
No. I just heard it in the
But you knew
background
he was
while I
the
was getting
sexiest
ready
man.
for work on like some TV show or radio show that I had on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My guess, Chris Cuomo, but he was not on the list. Question 4. A painting of Jesus sold for nearly $500 million yesterday at an auction in New York City. The artwork was created by which Renaissance painter? Mark Stein.
I know this one. Leonardo da Vinci, as the New York Post put it.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Does the tape confirm Leonardo?
The painting, which depicts Jesus, is referred to as the last Da Vinci because it's believed to be the only painting by the artist still in private hands. 19 minutes after the opening gavel, the painting sold for $450 million, the highest price ever for a piece of art.
Leonardo is right, and not DiCaprio.
No, and that will retain its value longer than your Microsoft stock or Amazon or any of that. Your $500 million for that. That will pay off in a...
Very impressive. If I'm looking for a new investment advisor, you're the man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. This is your chance.
Buy Leonardo. That's good advice.
Well, we're going to see if you can get back to zero.
Okay.
Okay, back to equilibrium, stasis, par. Okay, final question. Boston Dynamics, the robotics company, just came out with a rechargeable robotic pet to keep sad people company. The robot is modeled after which kind of animal? Mark Stein.
Based on what they have in Japan, I think I'm going to go with cat.
Cat. Is a robotic cat the answer?
Look at this. Boston Dynamics has developed what it says the most
creepy
advanced
video.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That's a robotic dog. It's called.
terrifying.
Oh my God, it's nasty.
Yes,
It's 55 pounds, all electric.
Oh,
It can go 90
It's
minutes
creepy.
on a charge.
It
But I have
doesn't even
no idea what it's
remotely
for.
resemble
Any
a dog.
idea?
To creep us out.
To creep us out.
A cat was a great guess because consider the market they're aiming at, right? It's obviously a cat market. But as AB pointed out, it looks more like an insect than a dog.
It doesn't look like a dog at all.
AB Stoddard, you win. Oh. You get the mouth breather mug. Congratulations.
I
Mark
know
Stein,
that when
good
Mark,
job.
I know when Mark anchors the show, he gets a freebie.
Yes,
so
he
I don't
does.
feel badly.
Ouch. Takes more than brilliance to win this game. Another Fox friend of ours had better luck, though. Shannon Bream dominated final exam for a record 9 consecutive games, partly on the strength of her moral purity. You can play along and check out the longest winning streak in final exam history with our friend Shannon Bream. That's next. Well, without question, the most dominant player in the history of final exam is Fox News at Night anchor Shannon Bream. Last fall, she was unleashed on our hapless Fox staff. She collected 9 scalps in a row before the rampage finally came to an end thanks to Leland Vittert. Boy, that was a showdown. Here are some highlights. Amazon, the company, just announced an interesting new service. For a fee, you can have your delivery driver do what with your Amazon packages? Shannon Bream.
Take them inside your house.
I don't believe that. It's too weird, but we're going to see if you're right on our tape.
Tech titan Amazon is taking things a few steps farther, literally, delivering those packages not just to your doorstep, but inside your home. It's called Amazon Key.
How did you know that?
I mean, I've been watching news programming.
Would you let Amazon into your home?
Heck to the no.
On Sunday night, a former U.S. president threw out the first pitch of the World Series game in Houston, Texas. Who was it? Shannon Bream.
Bush 43.
Bush 43, as distinct from 41. To the tape we go.
43 taking the field in Houston, where he's greeted by his father, former President George H.W. Bush, who gave him the ball. Such an amazing sight, 2 presidents on the same diamond. And then President Bush winding up and throwing a strike, of course.
Have you tested these lights?
President Trump was embroiled in a controversy during his stop in Japan this week. Some called it a fake controversy. He was blasted for dumping a whole box of food into which kind of animal enclosure? Shannon Bream.
A koi pond.
A koi pond, says Shannon Bream. Not a llama enclosure, a koi pond. To the tape.
Later, Mr. Trump feeding Asian carp in a koi pond, first tossing spoonfuls of fish food before emptying the entire box.
That was the greatest video. He's like, forget it. You're getting everything.
That was so good. Did you know it was a koi pond?
I knew the answer, but I can't get in here.
A returning champion leaves once again the champion. No, the score is 2-1. Shannon Bream, Dan Henry, and Shannon, I want to congratulate you as the very first winner of the mouth-breathing mug.
It is my honor.
Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders was under scrutiny over Thanksgiving vacation. She shared a photograph on social media of a dish she had made at home, but at least one reporter said it looked too good to be real and accused her of faking that dish. What food did she make? Shannon Bream.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie, also known as pecan pie. To the tape we go.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders under fire this weekend after she posted a picture of this pie. She said she baked it.
Let me tell you something. She's been making this pie for years. Years. Don't ever mess with a Southern woman and her homemade pies.
Shannon Bream. Okay, so watching the two champions next to each other, I'm starting to understand the key to this game. You are lightning fast.
Cat-like reflexes.
You have cat-like reflexes.
Yeah.
Ex-49ers player Colin Kaepernick was just presented with the coveted Muhammad Ali Legacy Award during a Sports Illustrated Sports Award ceremony. Which famous person, a singer, presented him with that award, saying, quote, "Kaepernick has a selfless heart"? Shannon Bream.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, says Shannon Bream. To the tape we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud and humbled to present the Muhammad Ali Legacy Award to Colin Kaepernick.
I accept this award knowing that the legacy of Muhammad Ali is that of a champion of the people.
Thank you both, Shannon. Your reign remains in place. Another coveted mouth-breathing mug.
Anytime you come over for dinner.
You did better than any other competitor against Shannon Bream, the juggernaut.
And guys, I answered one question.
Yeah, well, you know.
But correctly.
You did better than others.
But correctly.
Final question. Disney has unveiled its new robot version of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. It's in the Hall of Presidents exhibit in the Magic Kingdom. There's a problem, though. Many say the robot looks nothing like the president, but like which actor instead? Shannon Bream.
John Voight.
Well, that's a weird guess. If you get this right, you win. To the tape.
Some on the internet say it looks like a bloated John Voight. John Voight's never going to speak to me again.
Oh!
Look at that.
Shannon Bream, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it. Okay, so you win. This week we run out of prizes. So this week we have a small bottle of non-alcoholic champagne that we're going to give you.
Oh, I like it. Do I get to, like, spray it?
It tastes a lot like bubbly water, but it's delicious. Which senator announced he is retiring this year, possibly paving the way for Mitt Romney to run for his seat? Shannon Bream.
Orrin Hatch?
Oh, that can't be right. Orrin Hatch retiring? I don't believe it.
He said last week he wasn't going to.
I don't believe you. I think you got this wrong. I think it's Chris Dodd, but let's see.
Senator Grayson.
Well, the longest-serving Republican Senator Orrin Hatch will not seek re-election this year. The 83-year-old lawmaker from Utah announcing his retirement after serving since 1977.
Shannon Bream, don't feel bad. It was in the cards.
I don't.
You get our airplane-sized champagne. Enjoy it. It's delicious.
You know what I always do with them.
Chris Stirewell, you really were a worthy opponent. Last week, she completed a full Brady Bunch, beating Chris Stirewell to run her record to 9-0 tonight. She goes for her 10th straight win against America's news headquarters host, Leland Vittert, a man famous for his news acuity. The president just unveiled his latest nickname, this time for Senator Dianne Feinstein of California. What was that nickname? Was it A, Sleepy Diane, B, Sneaky Diane, C, Swampy Diane? Leland Vittert.
I'm going with Sneaky.
Sneaky Diane, not Swampy, Sneaky, not Sleepy. Roll tape.
We do have this tweet last hour. What was it, 20 minutes ago? President, the fact that Sneaky Dianne Feinstein, here we go. Look out, Sloppy Steve. Sneaky Dianne Feinstein.
He's trying to lull me. I know.
Wow.
No, I mean,
okay, this is without precedent.
Can I hand it over?
Yes, you may. You can hand. This is the coveted mouth breather mug.
Like I'm crowning the new Mr. America.
Well, I am gracious for you and your
You're
unbelievable.
speechless. No, that's okay. That's
if you
okay.
need to borrow the other 9
Tucker-
to make a complete
Tucker,
set of 10,
Tucker
I'm
set
happy
this
to
up as I was going to lose. I didn't even have an acceptance speech written.
You got to be prepared.
I was asked to leave in the men's room earlier. Congratulations to you, Leland
Thank
Vittert.
you.
Shannon Bream, you've been a fierce competitor, a terrifying competitor.
I'm looking forward to
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nothing in this life lasts forever, even a streak like that. After 9 wins, Shannon Bream passed the final exam crown to Leland Vittert. Whatever happened to him, by the way? Play along and see what happened next after this.
America's News headquarters, I'm Alicia Acuna. Subtropical storm Alberto makes landfall. The storm smashing down on the Florida Panhandle some 3 hours ago and is now expected to rake across the south with massive winds and rain. People there bracing for storm surge, flash flooding, and possible tornadoes. Evacuations have been underway since early today. Alberto is the first named storm of the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season, which doesn't officially start until Friday. A moving tradition today at Arlington National Cemetery, the final resting place for thousands of American war heroes. The president laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Similar ceremonies were observed across our nation as we pause to honor the men and women who died fighting for our freedom. I'm Alicia Acuna. Now back to Tucker Carlson. For all your headlines, log on to foxnews.com.
Leland Vittert was the man after he finally ended Shannon Ken Jennings Bream's 9-game winning streak. Could he defend his title, though, against the formidable Carly Shimkus and an airborne motor vehicle? We found out the following week. Watch. Last week, you'll remember that America's News headquarters host Leland Vittert ended Shannon Bream's legendary 9-match winning streak. Can he start a streak of his own tonight? That's the question. His challenger, Fox News Headlines 24/7 reporter Carly Shimkus, the pride of New York City. They join us both tonight on set.
Not even close to nervous.
Are you ready? You're close to nervous. I love it. Okay.
Feeling confident.
There we go.
Question 1. North and South Korea will join forces in the Winter Olympics next month. The two countries have agreed to come together to create a single team for which women's sport? Carly.
Figure skating.
Figure skating. To the tape we go.
What will be a very rare sight during next month's Winter Olympics. North and South Korea agreeing to form a joint team and march under one flag.
They'll play together too in the United Women's Ice Hockey Team.
So our judges have ruled that just because it's on ice skates, it's not the same.
I think it should. I think we should do a half point.
No.
Can that be a new rule?
Look, I'm not in charge here. We've got a room full of accountants.
Yes, we could, brainstorm
and they
here
have said,
and think of something new.
unfortunately, we can't count that.
All right.
Nice try, though.
Thank you.
Question 2. You're about to see an image of a car dangling off the second floor of a dental office. Crazy dash cam footage of that incident went viral on the internet this week. The question is, how'd the car get there? Carly.
Okay. A little bit of a backstory. The guy was arrested. He received a DUI. He flew over the median and because of the trajectory, ended up in the second story of that dental office.
Wow, that's quite an
Everybody,
answer.
I believe, walked away
let's see if the tape reflects that. To the tape.
This happened in Santa Ana. Look at that. They hit that medium, and then the car, as you saw, went airborne.
Look at that.
And it landed right into the second floor of a dental office. The car, there you see it, dangling right off that building.
Isn't that unbelievable
I
footage?
think the right word, median.
And he walked away?
Yeah, and well, everybody, there was nobody in the dental office, I believe, and he was, of course, arrested, but he's okay, minor injuries.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a party story. Okay, so you are back to even.
Right.
We're at stasis, status quo, par, 0-0.
Three left.
Question 3.
That's good to know.
A medical briefing, a televised one for 58 minutes, revealed this week that the president is indeed healthy, but that didn't stop reporters from fat-shaming him. One NBC producer asked Trump to prove his weight with a very strange request. What was it? Carly.
Step on a scale.
I don't believe that.
Let's see.
To the tape.
A member of NBC's investigative unit tweeted out this gem, seeing a lot of skepticism over the idea that real Donald Trump weighs only 239 pounds. Would he step on a scale in public to prove it? Yeah,
Wow.
he'll do that when reporters and anchors agree to public lie detector tests during their broadcasts or after their broadcasts.
It's like a prize match.
There you go.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right.
Okay, step on a scale. I would not have guessed that. Question 4. The temperature rises on the set. Google, which is a large search engine company, just released a new app. It has become popular. The app takes your selfie, a picture of you, and compares it to what?
Portraits.
Portraits.
Yeah, so famous museum pictures, paintings, and portraits found in museums, I believe.
Well, that's bizarre. Okay. Does the tape reflect portraits, famous portraits in museums?
Your image could already resemble a work of art on the walls of a museum somewhere.
Oh, why do I look so old?
This is located in the Arma Museum in Indonesia, and it is a very famous painting.
Fabulous. I like it.
They're not even trying. This is such BS. I did mine on my own, and this is what I came up with. It's just so sad that you're so lonely and needy that you're going to let Google use your face.
You know, the reason I knew that is because I actually did it this week, and the portrait I received that resembled me the most, I got a 60% match, was that of a bald man.
Well, let's see. I think actually we did it too, and let's see what we came up with.
Oh, is that me?
That's
I don't know how I feel about that.
We also did Leland. This is the poet Robert Burns.
Oh wow.
Both
He looks
very
smarter than
attractive
me.
gentlemen.
Did they do you, Tucker? That's what I'm.
Well, actually, I'm not aware of it. Yes, and that.
Less so. He does have very nice hair, so you guys.
I think they just took our Fox ID badge pictures.
I think they may have from the 90s.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Wow.
It's multiple choice. Actress and comedian Betty White had a birthday yesterday. She credits her longevity to her love of hot dogs and vodka, naturally.
Yeah.
How old is Betty White? Is she 86? B, is she 90? Or C, is she 96 years old?
She is 86 years old.
She's 86 years old, says Carly. To the tape we go.
Very, very happy birthday for a very golden girl. Betty White, everybody. Turns 96 years young today.
Did I get that right?
No, I think you're wrong. She's 96, off by 10 years.
No!
But
I remember the 6.
It doesn't prevent you from winning 1-0. It's the lowest score ever recorded, but still an impressive showing.
Thank God.
Congratulations. Very nice. I will say to you what Shannon said to me in the green room a couple of minutes ago. She said, you only have 8 more championships to win before she will come back for a challenge.
Rising like Lazarus. Okay, so you win the coveted mouth breather mug.
Oh, is that really for
yes,
me?
you're
I
going to
get
be the
to take
most
it
popular
home?
person in the break room
Oh,
up in
well,
New York.
this is fantastic.
Congratulations, Carly
I
Shimkus,
win more
our
than
new...
just pride. I get a mug.
You do, and it's
Very good
dishwasher safe.
God.
Thank you, Leland. Thank you. It was a short reign as king, but a very happy one. One of the most exciting final exams ever is up next. Bret Baier, Ed Henry, sudden death, Oprah. It had it all. And you can play along coming up. You know Bret Baier, he's our chief political anchor. You also know Ed Henry, he's our chief national correspondent. Who is chief of the news itself? That had to be resolved the only way it could be resolved, through final exam. That epic clash went down to a final sudden death question. Here's how it went. Question 1. The oldest sitting senator in America is having problems with her re-election campaign. The Democratic Party in her state refuses to support her. Who is it? Bret Baier.
Dianne Feinstein.
Dianne Feinstein of California, says the anchor of Special Report. To the tape.
This is not an easy time
Are they all
to
like
run
this?
for
'Cause
office.
this is
The California Democratic Party slamming the door on Senator Dianne Feinstein. Party activists denying the state's senior senator an endorsement in her bid for re-election.
So the next question is fair, balanced, and fill in the blank. Oh, just kidding, just kidding. You knew that one. You were unafraid to answer that. Okay. Question 2, multiple choice. Did you know that you can clone your pets? Indeed you can. Barbara Streisand reveals this week that she did. She cloned her favorite dog, who was named Samantha. What is the going rate for dog cloning? Is it $50,000, $500,000, or $1 million? Ed Henry.
50,000.
50,000 said Ed, the would-be dog cloner. To the tape.
She cloned her dogs. Two of her dogs, Miss Violet and Miss Scarlet, are clones of the late dog Samantha, who passed on last year at about $50,000 a pop.
There's like this long pause where I didn't hear it kill me, but I heard Laura Ingraham talk about it.
If you've got a pet cloning question, Ed Henry. He's chief national correspondent.
I don't even have a bet.
Right. Question 3. Oprah says a 2020 presidential run could be possible, but she's waiting for a certain someone to give her the explicit go-ahead. Who is she waiting to hear from?
Oh, wait. God.
But you
wait. Was that premature?
Hold on. Here's the question, and only our judges, because I pass on this responsibility, can determine this. Did both of them click in early? Oh, only Ed clicked in early.
Early? This is like the NFL.
Okay, hold on. No, I'm sorry. This is Deflategate at this point. And I am not going to be the NFL commissioner in this. So I'm just going to go right to the judges who say, we're going to have a re-click, okay?
Of the same question?
The same question. Here we go. We haven't finished it. Are you ready?
Yes.
She's waiting for a certain someone to give her the go-ahead. Who is she waiting to hear from? Ed Henry.
Come on.
The Almighty God.
The Almighty God, says Ed Henry. To the tape.
Billionaires calling me up saying, I can get you $1 billion. I can run your campaign. And I actually went into prayer about it. Like, God, if you think I'm supposed to run, you got to tell me. And it has to be so clear that not even I could miss it.
Don't tell Joy Behar.
When you're Oprah, only God can be your campaign manager. Like, there's nobody adequate to that. Question 4.
That was controversial.
It was. Trust me, it was. And some of the great moments of sports are.
Okay.
Question 4. The Department of Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson is accused of spending over $30 grand on unnecessary furniture. What kind of furniture was it? Brett Baer.
That was early.
Dining set.
Dining set. Why would he have a dining set? Okay, we'll find out in the tape. Is it a dining set?
Carson reportedly spent $31,000 taxpayer dollars on a new dining set for his private dining room at HUD in D.C. Now, a HUD official is quoted as saying that a career staffer was behind the decision to buy the dining set, not Secretary Carson.
Wow. Okay, so I was a humanities major, so I'm going to check the judges for the math. Where are we now? 2-2. So this is it. This is the tiebreaker. Final question. It's multiple choice. There is a man currently running for Congress in the state of Arkansas. He shares a name with a rock and roll legend. Is he named A, Elvis Presley, B, Bruce Springsteen, or C, Mick Jagger? Ed Henry.
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley. Is that his name?
Arkansas is about to get all shook up. Elvis D. Presley, there he is running for Congress. George, I took a political story from you.
Legit photo.
This is legit, people. Needless to say, this politician is also an Elvis impersonator. I'm sure I didn't need to tell you that.
Jersey.
Wow, that was really good.
Wow, that was very intense. Okay, Ed, you now win the coveted Eric Wemple mug that shows Washington Post columnist.
I thought it was a Tucker Carlson mug.
Well, I'm on the back.
That's very nice.
That was a good
Very nice.
Brett Baer, thank you.
Yeah.
That was controversial, but I felt it was
I felt
fair
better than when Shannon Bream beat.
The most controversial final exam episode in history is next. A titanic set of showdowns that featured Mark Zuckerberg versus Diamond and Silk, Conor McGregor versus a bus, and of course, Katie Freites against Jeff Larson. Play along as that controversy unfolds in spectacular fashion coming up. Well, by far the most controversial final exam ever staged pitted Brett Larson against Katie Freites. It was remarkable. For starters, we called Brett Jeff a couple of times, but that was just the beginning of the chaos. Here's what happened. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
The exhales are a sign. Question 1. Mark Zuckerberg just got grilled on Capitol Hill and was asked repeatedly about censorship at Facebook of 2 conservative sisters. These sisters are famous online for supporting President Trump. Who are they?
Diamond and Silk.
Diamond and Silk. No, these are people I'm asking about.
Yeah, they're the contributors.
Oh, Diamond and Silk. Okay, great. Diamond and Silk. I'm totally kidding. Of course, I know who they are. Let's see if you're right.
Diamond and Silk have a question.
for you.
Let me tell you something right now. Diamond and silk is not terrorism.
Why is Facebook censoring conservative bloggers such as Diamond and Silk?
Why are we allowing this one entity to control almost the whole world? This is dangerous.
I believe, is that Diamond and Silk?
Everybody knows Diamond and Silk, including Jeff. All right, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. That's beginner's luck again.
You were like a fraction of a second faster than me.
Okay.
Because he hired a coach. Question 2, sorry to give that away. Here it is. Which UFC fighter is out on bail tonight after grabbing a hand truck and throwing it through the window of a bus in Brooklyn, New York?
Oh, I don't know.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Boy, you were up on this. Is it Conor McGregor? I don't know. Let's check the tape.
UFC champion Conor McGregor turned himself into authorities last night following his rampage backstage at the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got to give mad props to Jared Max for that one, though, because
you scoff at the idea of toxic masculinity, but if it exists, that might have been it.
That might have been it. Yeah.
Throwing a hand truck? You got to be a man to throw a hand truck. I'm impressed. Like the Mongols across the Russian steppe, Brett, you are sweeping through these questions. Let's see if you can keep it going. Question 3. Which member of the royal family had the world in hysterics this week when he or she jokingly compared a noisy helicopter to Presidents Trump and Obama? Katie Freitas.
I don't remember. The Queen. I don't remember her.
The Queen.
Queen, what's her face? Who's the Queen?
Of what country?
Britain.
Britain. The Queen. Is it the Queen?
Why do we always go round and round when we want to talk? Sounds like President Trump. President Obama.
Wow, that's some real shit.
We are not impressed. We are not impressed at all. Are our judges impressed? Is the Queen adequate? They're saying it is.
Yes.
Katie, all right.
All right, you're on the board.
1 to 2 going into question 4. Here it is. The city of Los Angeles is fighting global warming by taking an unusual approach. Won't be surprised to hear that. This approach involves paint. What is the city doing? Paint. It involves paint.
I don't.
It's huffing paint until the problem goes away. Just kidding. No, it's not huffing paint.
I
don't know.
They're going to hug a tree every time they paint a wall? I don't know.
It involves the streets, our judges are saying.
Is it something for, like...
You got a buzz.
Whatever.
Katie Freitas.
I have no idea. Does it have something to do with the sun? And the heat. And
well, presumably it would have to do with the sun, since it's global warming that they're trying to fight.
I have no idea.
Can you be more specific?
Is it something about reflecting the heat from the sun, maybe off the paint that they're putting on the ground? I have no idea.
Whoa! Does it have to do with reflecting the sun off the street with the paint they are applying? To the tape we go.
The city of Los Angeles is using taxpayer dollars to combat climate change by painting its streets white. The pricey project is expected to take 20 years to complete, while costing the city nearly $40,000 per mile.
Dude.
Did I get it right?
You just made that up on the fly and got it right. You should be a global warming engineer.
Oh, no. No. That's the extent of my intelligence on that.
Wow. Well, that's revealing on many levels, but I'm impressed that you got it.
I'm terrified.
All right.
This is it for the win.
2 to 2. Maybe she'll make up this one, too. Final question. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth just became the first sitting U.S. senator to do this while in office.
You didn't wait for him to finish.
She's pregnant, and she's going to have a baby. First female senator to have a baby, as a senator.
Katie gets to answer first.
For a sitting senator to have a baby?
And I just want to say that I am reflecting the judgment of the judges. I make no independent judges. I'm merely a neutral arbiter here, a puppet controlled by New York. So, Katie, your guess is the first senator to give birth, mirroring Brett, who buzzed in early's response. Let's see if you and him were right.
Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois has given birth to a baby girl, making her the first senator to give birth while in office. And our congratulations to her and little baby Miley.
And my congratulations to you. You are welcome. For the record, I knew the answer.
It's a bittersweet. Okay, wait. Okay,
I don't.
Since we have a technicality, we're going to throw in one bonus question.
Oh,
the bonus question always remains the same, and the judges have told me to make it up on the fly.
Oh.
And I don't know what they're going to do with the answer. What is the capital of Burkina Faso? The former African the country formerly known as Upper Volta has a capital called what? Ouagadougou. No! Okay, I'm sorry. That's the all-purpose.
Oh, come on! Is that the real question?
That was it.
Can I chime in for sexual pandas?
No, you may not. Well, after that train wreck, obviously a rematch was called for. Mark Stein hosted it, and it went all the way down to a final question involving Indian exercise regimens and livestock. Ooh, spine tingling. That's next.